optimization, first we must be able to understand what is this term actually. So when I'm going to talk about the optimization, simply it will come into your mind, what is this optimization? Why we are talking about this? Or actually this optimization term we are using in our daily life very frequently, right? So optimization is what, just if I'll give you some example, suppose you have to move from one place to the another place, you are sitting in your house and you have to go to your office or the institute. So what you are thinking initially, I have to start from here, I have to reach to my office. So what is the required thing? Traffic must not be there, time must be less, and I must be efficiently able to reach there. It means, what is this optimization? This is an act, process, or methodology of something, whatever you would like to perform. Sometimes we need to perform optimization in our household, like monetary things as well. So optimization is that only, right? 1 minute. So optimization, uh, wait. So optimization is, we are thinking about that. So always you will be thinking, I have to travel from this point. So you have started, you have calculated in your mind, I'll follow this route. So I'll be able to reach the office by this particular time. But what happens if in case in a runtime situation, you will find stuck somewhere, there is a huge traffic, then again you have to recalculate from that particular point. Now from here, I have to take this path, then only I'll reach the office on time. So this is what the adaptive optimization in general. So optimization is this particular process or thinking. So always you have to think about how to apply the optimization so that intelligence or efficiency can be increased, right? Let me give you more example about the optimization in engineering. Or initially, to discuss, whenever you go to buy something, you used to visit the supermarket, then you used to decide whatever the things you would like to buy, and that would be of maximum utility, right? So you always think, I should buy this thing, I should not buy this thing. It means you try to maximize utility. That is what the optimization is. You always avoid unnecessary expenses. Second example is, you can see over here some industry or something. So here optimization is what? There will be lots of movement, there will be number of persons who will be working in this particular area. So our requirement is optimization of the resources. Requirement is optimization of the wastage, minimizing cost. This is what the optimization is. Here you can see, if we take the example of a bank, so whenever you have to invest something, then you always want to explore about the savings, how the decision is to be taken. So in that particular case, what is your interest? To maximize utility, to maximize the interest, right? That is what the optimization. In the case of Walmart, pricing decisions, pricings usually vary. Sometimes high, sometimes there is a sale of 20%, 30%, 40%. So it is like decision is to be taken on the basis of the maximizing profit. How the profit is to be maximized. One more example. Whenever you have to take the decision about the selection of the doctor, selection of anything, what you would like to, how much distance you are going to cover, what is the fee of the doctor, what is its specialty. So you would like to maximize the utility. So here I have listed out these 5 applications, and now you would be able to correlate. Optimization means depending upon the requirement. There is not a thumb rule, means optimization in this way only. So optimization could be done in any field, in any application. You have to identify what is problem domain is, and how this is to be applied. So these are the various examples of the optimization in engineering. Now let's talk about the image optimization. as we have to talk in detail about the optimization in the image. So optimizing web images, when you have to optimize image, that is what? That is a process. And from that for a process itself, you must be capable to carry, you must be able to receive high quality of image. Optimization doesn't mean that it deteriorates the process. Optimization means if I have to teach you something within 1 hour duration, I would like to prepare my notes in such a manner that each and everything will be described very efficiently, and I will give you a separate time for the queries. I will give you, so the way how to deliver quality. In the case of the image optimization, quality is to be delivered, high quality images must be carried out, formats must be standards, their size, dimension, all the things must be kept intact. So this is the process. So when we are talking about the image optimization, it could be done in various ways. See, in the previous session, I have discussed about the brief of the image process. Image enhancement, image segmentation. See, segmentation is also a process upon which optimization can be applied. If I take a picture of some large size and that picture is to be segmented into, let me tell you, suppose 50 pieces, right? So there will be certain time you have to identify. First, I have to segment the image horizontally. Then I have to segment the image vertically. No, it doesn't look good. First, I have to segment the image vertically, then horizontally. Yeah, now it is looking good. Or the another way is, let us try to segment the image diagonally. Yes, it is giving you more pictorial information. So this is what we do. We always do hit and trial. Manual operator is to what? Identify the process is very manual already which is being described. So start with segmenting. For the image compression also, if I would like to compress the image so that its quality is being maintained, what the human operator will do? It will not compress the image up to 1/8. First, we'll try to compress little bit, then little bit, means in a number of steps. So with the help of optimization and automation, you can see the intelligence of any particular process is being increased, right? That is about the image optimization. So it means optimization can be done whether you have to resize the image or you have to compress or you have to increase the quality. This is what the image optimization. Now, let us discuss about the different optimization techniques. Here, our objective is to get aware about the optimization technique. There are a number of optimization techniques. Majority of optimization techniques, they vary from a very simple technique to the complex one. Initially, what happens 20-25 years back, we used to apply genetic algorithm, fuzzy logic, neural, but nowadays researchers are innovating meta-heuristic, swarm intelligence based on the human intelligence. So many algorithms are being like developed, certain hybrid algorithms. So even a lot. Let me try this algorithm to this problem. Yes, it is giving better result. Let me try another algorithm. No, that is not giving you the good result. So hit and trial, but optimization, but innovation in the optimization is being done. So number of optimization techniques are available, and majority of optimization techniques can find the application in the image processing. Application doesn't mean that is going to increase the like parameters in all sense, that is going to highlight the quality in all sense. Optimization means whatever your task is required, that is being performed, and accordingly, depending upon the application, the type of optimization technique you have to select. Here in this particular tree, you can see some of the techniques I have listed out over here. So basically the optimization algorithm that is being categorized into 3 categories. Direct search algorithm, The standard one, the simple process, the standard conventional one. Direct search, pattern search. Algorithms can also be developed, can also be utilized. So this is about the basics, how the categorization is being done. Need not to be applied directly. You can try hybrid. You can try the combination of three. You can apply one algorithm for one module and the other algorithm for the other module. So this is also depending upon the requirement, depending upon the interest of the researcher, it could be done. Now, first, let us discuss about the ant colony optimization. Then I'll tell you how this optimization algorithm can be applied to various image processing applications. So to understand ant colony optimization algorithm, what is this? See, ant colony optimization, that is denoted by ACO. It was first introduced by Marco Dorigo in year 1990. And this is a commonly used technique. It gives very good examples, very good results in a number of applications. And it is a population based, means general search technique is being used to find out the solution. And this is based on the behavior of ant. Here you can see a picture of ant I have mentioned. So the behavior of ant is being taken over here, that is being mimicked, and accordingly it is being applied. Do you know ants are actually blind? Ants can't see. So they are blind, but when ants move, then they used to release a certain type of chemical substance which is known as a pheromone, right? So whenever ant is moving, they used to release a chemical substance which is pheromone, and depending upon the intensity, how much pheromone is being deposited, the other ants will follow it, right? So what happened? Let me tell you with the help of this diagram. There is a nest, there is a food. From the nest, number of ants move randomly in the search of food. What happened? Initially, ants will move randomly in all the direction. But if you observe after a certain time, they used to follow a trail. What happened also in this particular case, from nest, ants are moving randomly in all the directions. So some of the ants which will reach to the food frequently in a less time, they will try to take the food and will return to their nest. So what will happen? Ants which have find the food, they will return, they will follow the same path and will come to the nest. So when ants are moving in that path, other ants will also smell the pheromone intensity and they will try to converge on that particular path. So in the second one, you can observe here, ants are actually following that particular path here. That path is being followed. So after a certain time, a trail is being maintained and ants will follow. So here, what is the important one, the factor, the criteria? That is the convergence, right? Ants converge on a path, will find the food, will return to the nest. So this particular behavior and property of the ants is being utilized and is being applied into a number of applications. Moving ahead, next, how it actually works. 1 minute. Flow chart of ACO. As I have told you that ants are moving and keep updating. So there is a probability rule. See, whenever you are going to implement any algorithm which is meta-heuristic or heuristic also based on the action of something, those are all probabilistic algorithm. Means you can predict, but you cannot exactly calculate. You can approximate, but exact calculation could not be done. So here probability rule is applied, and the probability rule between the two nodes, which is known as the pseudo random proportional action choice rule, and it depends upon two factor, heuristic and meta heuristic. You must remember heuristic is problem dependent and meta heuristic is problem independent. So meta heuristic is a wide domain. It could be applied into a wide domain. Before moving further, let me give you one more example, as I have given you the example of traveling salesman. What is the target of a traveling salesman? The target of a traveling salesman is to cover a number of shops. Means that particular salesman has to cover 20 shops, for example. So what is the objective is? He will identify what is the shortest route so that in shortest time all the shops will be covered. So always it will be a probabilistic rule. He'll start from his source, will move to the first shop, then will move to second, third accordingly. And in the case of any hindrance, from there calculation will be done. So here what is the optimization parameter? Optimization is the path, shortest route, right? So in between two nodes, first shop and second shop, the again calculation is being done and next factor needs to be determined. So here this pseudo random proportional action choice rule, this is what it is updated from this formula tau n and summation of tau and n. Tau is what? This is the pheromone which is deposited, which is released by the ant, and eta is the inverse of the distance between the two nodes. So as I've told you, the tendency of the ants is to identify, to extract, to smell the high intensity pheromone path. All will converge, all will follow. So each ant modify the environment in two different ways, local trail updating and global tail updating. Local tail means when a traveling salesman is moving from one node to the another node. So from one node to another, he'll calculate all the nearest node, find out which is the shortest one, will move there. And global, when the overall environment is being updated, means the entire path is being updated. This you can understand in this particular flow chart. You can see initially some parameters need to be initialized. How many ants, how many iterations and all. Then for the first iteration, an ant is to be selected. That ant will move randomly. As I've told you, traveling salesman will move randomly, will calculate the cost to the nearest all nodes, and the nearest one will be updated. That is the local pheromone trail. Is last ant? No. Then again next means if we have taken 100 ants and 100 iterations. So for first 100 ants is to be calculated. Then best is to be taken and that is to be updated globally. And similarly, all 100 iterations is to be done. So out of those 100 iterations, whatever the best result we are getting, that is being given. And this is the best solution which is being identified, which is being applied. Like in the case of the traveling salesman problem also, when salesman started from one point to the other, he will calculate to all the nearest neighbors, will identify which is the nearest one, will move there. Again from next node to the forthgoing node, again will calculation will be done. Similarly, the entire path is to be identified. So here you must remember local update and global update. depending upon the number of. See, what happens? Actually, these algorithm takes very small time to execute. So you will not be able to find out even a minute also. If 100 or 1000 iterations is to be done, you'll be getting the best result. So this is about the ACO. Now, let me talk how this ACO can be applied to the image processing. This is first part. I have explained you one optimization algorithm. Now come to the optimization algorithms in the image processing. So first application, I have taken the image enhancement using ACO. It means ant colony optimization algorithm is being applied for what? For enhancing image. And what is image enhancement? Image enhancement is to increasing, to highlighting the features, to highlighting, to increasing the image quality. That is what the image enhancement is. You can enhance image, you can increase image quality as per your choice. I can do as per my choice, depending upon the variations of the brightness and contrast. So enhancement process, overall process is non-linear. There are certain constraints also. So when we are applying ACO in image enhancement, what ACO is doing? The function of the ACO is to identify what is the best function, objective function. If the best function is being identified, what is the best manner that could be applied? There is no hit and trial, and the overall function will be performed. What do you mean by this hit and trial? See, you used to play with the Photoshop. You used to apply filters. You are having your own picture and you see which filter works better. First, let me apply this filter. Let me apply this filter. Whenever you are working in a Photoshop, you do something, then you try to visualize it. But this is what the intelligence is with the optimization algorithm. Algorithms will automatically compute which is better and that will be applied here. So I hope now you must be clear what is the difference between the conventional with the intelligent techniques, right? Here you can see the two pictures. In the first one, the quality is not good, while in the second case, quality is improved. This is a gray image. Again, if the enhancement is to be done, if someone, some of you may have studied the digital image processing, there are various techniques. And let me give you one technique, which is the piecewise transformation. What happened in that particular case? First image upon which the enhancement is to be done, it is to be divided into a number of pieces. Number of pieces like first piece, second, third, fourth. First you are applying transformation in first piece, then transformation in second, then third. In all the pieces, whenever you are performing the transformation, overall image will be transformed, enhanced. But this is not done in the intelligence technique. Here, what is the objective of ACO? Three values. One, the objective function needs to be calculated. Then it will also be computed the computational time which is used to run the algorithm, that must be less. If 1000 iterations is being done, then in that particular 1000 iterations, it will be identified in which particular thing you are getting the best function, that is to be identified. Efficiency must be increased. That is what the major key point or popularity of the intelligent algorithm. Efficiency must be high. Number of edges must be good. Right? Then only you are going to say that the enhancement is good. Here you can see the outline of the image, outline of this particular kid, outline of the image is enhanced. So the edges can be enhanced. How many edges are there? So these are intelligence techniques. They will help to identify this in a more faster manner. Even if we are doing the hit and trial kind of thing can be avoided, time will be reduced, efficiency will be high, error will be reduced. So this is how image enhancement can be done by using ACO. And the objective is to maximize the number of pixels. Recall what I have discussed with the ACO flowchart. There is a local update, there is a global update, means for the image enhancement. If in one part of the segment is identified, that this kind of pattern is good, that will be applied in the entire image. No need to apply. Or if one type of pattern is not fit in with the another one, then third will be created. But all of this thing means the convergence is so fast, so you are not able to identify, means it is a very time taking process. Time is being reduced. Second example is the image segmentation. Segmentation using ACO. Segmentation you can do manually also. You have taken a piece of paper. You can do the segmentation. You can tear that paper and you can have two pieces. Again, you can make the smaller piece manually. Again, you can make the smaller piece. This is what the manually segmentation you are doing. Or if required, you can take one larger piece, one smaller piece, one larger piece, again into three parts. So manually you can do, but the characteristic of ACO, which is the convergence, efficiency, and how segmentation can be done, means depending upon the similarity principle, depending upon the discontinuity, that will be helped by the ACO. So segmentation, it actually focuses the partitioning an image, and if you join all those partitions, again the original image you will be able to get it. In the last session, someone was asking what was image segmentation and object recognition, I think. So segmentation is you can partition, and if you join all the partition, original image will be regained. And the parts in which image is divided, that is the image object. Here you can see in the first case, input is an image. When you applied the segmentation, you are extracting different objects, and from the extraction, all the objects you can separate it out. Image segment algorithm, this algorithm can be employed or developed on the basis of two principles. First is the similarity principle and second is the discontinuity principle. What is the similarity principle? You can club the same nature of pixels into one group, right? Same nature of pixels, like if you have to extract the image of a person, so you know this is face of that person, this is hand, this is leg, so you can combine all. Discontinuity, suppose you are having a scenery, there is a mountain, there is a tree, there is a river also. So discontinuity principle, when there is a mountain, so mountain and tree, there will be like discontinuity, tree will be of some greenery or something. So that discontinuity, that boundary will be extracted out. So image segmentation algorithm, it could be applied in either of these two ways. Let me give you one more example. See here, if in the first case, you can see original image is being divided into four sections initially. R1, R2, R3 and R4. If required, R2 is again being divided into four parts. So now you can see original image that is available into 7 segments. If you join all those 7 parts, original image will be regained, right? The same you can see, the first case, the image of a lady, there is a background also, and here what is our requirement is image of lady will be extracted, segment. So you can see we have highlighted the image of a lady with this red color 1 by mentioning 1. This is what the segmentation is. Background is being denoted this building with one segment, tree with one segment. This is how the simply segmentation is dividing depending upon the requirement. So where ACO is being applied? ACO is being applied to identify similarity things. ACO can be applied to identify discontinuity, right? ACO can be applied whether there is a possibility to further segment it, right? Till the end. So the function of ACO is this. Next is the image compression using ACO. Here I am going to talk about the compression. Size of the image can be reduced. See, image compression means you can reducing the size by injecting the quality. image features, right? And image compression, this is a very essential requirement. Why? Because there is a requirement to store the image. That particular storage will be reduced. Bandwidth utilization will be efficient, right? When you are compressing the image, size of the image can be reduced, right? So even in a smaller space, multiple images or many images can be stored. This is what the image compression is. But compression of image, the algorithm, image compression can be done in two ways. Lossy compression or lossless compression. Before this lossy and lossless, let me tell you about the compression and data explosion. See, here you can see two images, 1 and 2. For the first, you can see what is the size, 8.9 MB. For the second one, the size is 68.3. Image size is being reduced, but at the same time, you can see the quality of image is being deteriorated, right? So compression is done up to that particular level upon which the quality can be accepted. Quality of image, if there is any loss, or if from this particular 68.34 KB image, again original image can be regained or not. Suppose the original image is having N1 bits, other image is having N2 bits. If number N2, number of bits N2, that is less than the N1, it means significant compression is being done. If N1 is equal to N2, means no compression. If number of bits in N2 means the other image is high, means the data explosion is there. So here our interest is only compression, means N2 will be less than N1. So image compression can be done in two ways, lossy and lossless. What is lossless compression? Image size is being reduced without any quality deterioration, without any loss, without any change. Intact, image is being intact. It means lossless. In the case of lossless, all the properties keep intact, and again original image can be regained. What happened in the case of the lossy compression? Some of the image qualities may be deteriorated, may be reduced, quality of image may be degraded, but up to an acceptable limit. It's not like that, that is not going to be acceptable. That is up to an acceptable limit. And there is a factor also, in case you want to regain the original image, there might be some variation, right? Exact image may not be regained. But whatever is being done, whatever the application, whatever the function or the process being performed, that will give you the tolerable factors. So here image compression.
ஏன் நிக்குது
2 மணிக்கு மீட்டிங்
கேக்குதா?
Ma'am, kindly mute the volume button, please.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Continue. Sorry.
Right. It's okay, sir. It's okay. So here, where ACO is being applied, you must be thinking this is the image compression. I know, but what is the use of ACO? See, compression can be done, but manually what you are doing, you are reducing some size, then you are checking the quality. Again, you are reducing the size, you are checking the quality. This is what manually we are doing, but ACO is doing. ACO is checking what are the factors up to which particular level the compression can be done. Once you have designed the algorithm, it will check how many bits were in original, how many bits will be in advance. So the ACO can do that particular functionality. At the same time, computational time. Manually it could be done, or in a traditional algorithm it could be done at a larger time. But with the help of intelligence algorithms, it could be done in a smaller time interval. Even the small objects can be taken out. Small objects which any person who is doing manually, that may be ignored, right? So this is what the beauty of ant colony optimization algorithm for image compression. So these are the three applications for any object recognition. If in a tree Suppose there is a tree, mango tree, and there are so many mango fruits on that particular tree, and you would like to extract one big mango which is of this particular characteristic, this shape, this one. So ACO will help you out of those many. What is going to be done in the traditional method? You have to select how many mangoes are there. Then you have to apply the sorting algorithm. You are taking one mango size as a reference, then will comparing with the second one. Then the lower one will be rejected and the other one will be taken out. And all these things will be done intelligently by using all the meta-heuristic algorithms. Here I have talked about ACO, so well done by ACO. Moving ahead, let us discuss another optimization algorithm, which is the PSO, particle swarm optimization. See, for the image, you can apply for compression, for enhancement, for segmentation. The process, the objective, our focus or goal is same. But which particular feature is being utilized, that I'll be telling you. PSO is actually this algorithm. This was proposed by James Kennedy and Russell Elber in year 1995. And it also, this PSO, it mimics the nature of social behavior, their movement like birds, fish, insects. What happened? You have seen sometimes in a sky, the particles are moving independently, individually. And sometimes you used to see there is a specific pattern in the sky. Means there is a group of particles, group of birds, they have make a certain pattern and then they are moving. That particular characteristic is being utilized over particle swarm optimization. Means here in this picture you can see independently, but sometimes you can see there is a shape, particular shape. That is what the convergence, which is required in the case of the meta-heuristic algorithms, right? So advantages are PSO, this is insensitive to scaling, simple implementation, very few algorithm parameters. It's a global search algorithm. See, if you have to, suppose you are implementing any algorithm in a MATLAB, the traditional one, the conventional one, I'm not talking about the intelligent algorithm, and you are making a program for the segmentation. See how much lengthy program you have to write. First you have to do, then compare, then sorting, then all. And here you'll find a very simple program. So you'll be writing in a few lines only. So what happens in the case of the PSO? Since PSO move randomly, the particles having different initial position, different velocity, but after a certain time they will converge and make a pattern. So X, V, Xi, Vi, these are the current position, velocity. Then again, with respect to the another node, distance is being calculated, that is being updated, P best, and the distance between current and the destination is being calculated, that is the G best. Just as if the traveling salesman is moving from one point to the another, calculation is being done. For the entire path, the best route is identified. So the best route is the G best. So here, this particular pattern, the local updation P best and the global updation G best, that will give you the fitness function and accordingly it will be done. Like if PSO is being applied in any automation factory and for assembling, so first you have to make an algorithm, you are running it, you are finding it, okay, this is the optimized one. First we have to put this particular part, then this part is to be kept, then this particular part is to be kept, and accordingly overall flow is being designed. So this is how PSO calculate local and global values, and optimization can be applied for anyone, for enhancement, for segmentation, for compression, and even if for the object recognition, for color image processing. If you would like that your image is having 3 colors RGB and you would like to segregate green color from that, you can apply it. You have to apply the algorithm, you have to mention all the parameters that this is the characteristic, G is having this much of the resolution, this much, and that could be segregated out so the boundary can be identified. This is how it could be applied. So what is a flowchart? It's very simple. You can see you have to initialize the parameters, fitness function, objective function you have to calculate, local and global values. You have to update the rate at which the particles are moving, and if that is moving with meeting with the optimization criteria, that is okay. Otherwise, the loop will continue. Optimization means some initial value you'll be setting that will be met with the reference node. So there are actually three halves: inertia, personal influence, and social influence. First, the particle moves in the same direction. Individual you have to study, and about their return path also you need to do the calculation. See, why return path is important? Once you are having the original image, you have applied any function, you have now did the transformation into the image. But if you require to get it back, whether the return is possible or not, that is what the convergence factor and the optimization. And accordingly, these artificial intelligence based algorithms will give you that beauty. This is the beauty of the intelligence algorithms. One more algorithm which could be applied on the image processing applications, which is the teaching learning based optimization. Teaching learning based optimization, this is very interesting. See, as if someone is teaching, a teacher is teaching in a class. So we know that, and we always agree that teacher is having the supermost knowledge. Teacher is teaching and students are learning from the teacher. But the learning of students can be done in one more way. How? Sometimes students used to interact with a peer group and they used to increase their knowledge. So here, teaching learning based optimization algorithm, there are two phases actually. One is the teacher phase, other is the learner phase. In the teacher phase, learning is through the teacher, and in the learner phase, learning is among the students because of the interaction. This algorithm was developed by Dr. Rao in year 2011, and it has also been applied into a number of applications, and image processing is one of them, right? So this actually, here what is our requirement? Our requirement is to find out the best solution. And who is best? Teacher is best. Whatever teacher is teaching to the students, if students are capable to reach to that particular level, it means the best solution is being identified. And this optimization algorithm, this is adaptive. Why adaptive? Because teacher is also learning day by day because of some particular program, some books from research papers. So teacher is also increasing their knowledge. So therefore the students also. And depending upon the situation, if sometimes if the teacher is being stuck at that certain point, then accordingly at that particular instant, the teacher can take a decision. No, this is not the right path. I should teach this topic in this particular way to the student so that it will be more effective. So its beauty is adaptive in nature. Here you can see the flow chart of TLBO. And the beauty of the TLBO is very less parameters needs to be initialized. Population size, number of generations. Population means the number of students. And here there is no requirement of any other specific control, any specific parameter. It is adaptive in nature, and our requirement is to identify, to find out the best objective function. And best solution is the considered as the teacher. So initially you initialize the, what is the population means the student, termination criteria means how many iterations and all. Then we used to identify what is the best solution. First, a solution is being identified that is matched with the existing one. If there is no other solution existing, then one more solution need to be created. Then there will be a matching of both the solutions. The best one will be taken out, and the solution which is not performing, which is not giving you the efficient result, that will be ignored. Again, the next result will be computed, that will be compared. So here the comparison is being done at a number of stages, and whatever the best among the pool. If there are 20 students, one teacher, among that particular pool, whatever the best solution is being created, that will be applied for the segmentation. So the process of segmentation will be done, but in which way segmentation will be done, that will be provided by the TLB or PSM. Means as if I have told you the segmentation, you are tearing a paper either horizontally or vertically. So algorithm will tell you first tear the paper horizontally. Again, you must tear the paper 3 times horizontally. That will gives you the best result. So segmentation is same, but the manner in which segmentation will be done, that will be told about from the intelligent algorithms. There, these intelligent algorithms can be applied. Let me discuss one more optimization algorithm, Cuckoo search. Cuckoo search, this algorithm was given by Zhenxi Yang in year 2009, and it was inspired by the behavior of cuckoos. Do you know what is the characteristic of the cuckoos? Cuckoos used to lay one egg at a time, and even cuckoos don't lay their eggs in their nest. They used to lay the eggs in the nest of other birds because they have a fear that their eggs will be destroyed. So they used to identify the nest of the other birds and put their eggs there. There they grow. The good egg will be taken out, means the good solution will be taken out, and the poor quality eggs will be ignored, means poor quality solutions will be ignored, and out of those possible solutions, the best one will be taken out for the next generation, and that could be utilized. So as if I was telling you about the enhancement, process of enhancement will be done, but the manner in which enhancement is to be applied on an image, that will be told by the intelligent algorithm. Means you have to apply the enhancement in one way to the overall image, or enhancement can be done on the background, or enhancement can be done on a certain portion, or enhancement can be done on a segmented part. So this is how it is being applied. So here the best egg means best solution which will be taken out, and that will be applied for the image processing. So here, as I've told you, that each cuckoo lay one egg at a time, and it also dumps its eggs in the randomly chosen nest. Probability will always vary because see, this is the game of all these intelligent algorithms, meta heuristic techniques. There is a game of probability. We always find out what is the probability for next, right? So here parameters needs to be initialized, generation of host nest, then we have to find out the fitness function, best function, then identify solution, then will be checking out whatever the scenario is, whether that is sufficient for the enhancement or not, otherwise loop will continue. Then again, whatever the best will be getting, that could be applied. So this is how it could be applied. So let me summarize again. Here I have told you about the optimization in a layman term. What do you mean by optimization in engineering? Then some portion of the classification. I am not telling you that I have given you the detailed classification, a brief classification of the optimization technique. You can apply direct up technique, you can apply hybrid technique, you can apply even if ACO, you can do certain modifications, you can develop your own algorithm. ACO, for ACO, I have discussed 3 cases: segmentation, enhancement, and compression. Then 3 more algorithms. But at the end, I would like to tell you that these intelligent algorithms or the meta heuristic algorithms will tell you the way, the manner, or the process in which overall process is to be done. What is the best? We need not to search out. We need not to search out that first we move from Delhi to Bangalore, then Bangalore to Chennai, then Chennai to Kashmir. This optimization algorithm will tell you, you start from Delhi, you have to reach to the Kashmir, which way you must be taken out. So algorithm will give you that intelligence, and remaining process will be carried out. Similarly, so many other algorithms are available. You can see the research papers, research works, number of papers are available. But at each and every place, you'll be finding the process is same, just you are calculating the objective function, fitness function, which is suiting best, and that could be applied. So this is all about the optimization technique. Even the session can be because of this 45 minutes to 1 hour duration, I have summarized it into this manner. Otherwise, you can discuss, you can think of any technique. You can mimic the behavior of any particle, any pattern. So once again, thank you so much to all of you. If you would like to ask any question, you can ask me.
Participant with any question regarding this session, kindly put the WhatsApp chat box, right?
Otherwise, also I have shared my mail ID. You can write an email. Even I have received a mail from one of the participants about the PPTs. I'll share also. Otherwise, the PPTs are with the organizers. They will share with you. I'll also share with you. That is not an issue.
Participant, if any doubt, put the chat box or raise the hand. I allow permission, give the allow. Professor Kavita ma'am. Professor Kavita ma'am.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, ma'am, for giving your valuable insight on the topic optimization techniques and its application. Really, it is a very useful to our future enhancement, and each and every techniques you are explained very clearly and very useful to me, ma'am. So, at the end of the today's session, I would like to thank everyone joining with us, and
Thank you.
today handout will share through the register mail ID. Tomorrow's section plan and activities will be sent through the WhatsApp group.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so
Ma'am,
much.
thank you, ma'am. Right, accepting my invitation. Once again, thank you, ma'am. So, participant, the assignment question will posted on your WhatsApp group, right? Thank you to all the participants. So all the participants kindly check your WhatsApp group. Now I will posted the assignment question, right? So the participants should complete the assignment and revert back to us through the mail on the same day. Late submission will not encourage, right? Thank you to all. Thank you, ma'am.